We are the Smarter Business with AI podcast, your go-to source for practical AI applications tailored to small and medium-sized enterprises. Each week, we break down how AI is transforming businesses, from streamlining customer service to optimizing operations, while driving productivity and growth. Hosted by digital experts from New Era AI, we turn complex AI concepts into simple, actionable insights for your business. Whether you're starting your AI journey or looking to scale with cutting-edge technology, the Smarter Business podcast will provide the knowledge and inspiration you need to thrive in our ever-changing marketplace. How is artificial intelligence affecting cybersecurity? AI technology is allowing for a drastic improvement in threat detection and response with predictive analytics and automation. Yet it also introduces risks like AI-driven attacks and adversarial exploits. This episode explores the power and pitfalls of AI in securing the digital world and how to strike the right balance. Stay ahead and learn more at neweraintelligence.com.
Welcome back to Smarter Business with AI. Each week, we take a look at how AI is shaking things up in a different industry.
This week, it's cybersecurity.
Yeah. AI in cybersecurity.
Big changes happening.
It's right, revolutionizing the cybersecurity landscape. And,
revolution's a good word for it.
It is a good word for it. Our sources this week really dive into how AI is changing everything.
It really is, from threat detection, incident response, all of it.
It's like AI is giving, cybersecurity professionals these superpowers.
Yeah.
But at the same time, our sources also highlight some potential downsides. It seems like cyber criminals are also getting in on the AI action.
Absolutely. They're not going to be left behind.
Right.
They're using it to up their game, too.
So it's like this,
It's a chess match, almost.
Yeah.
Like high-stakes chess where both sides are using AI to try and outmaneuver each other.
Exactly.
But let's, maybe we can start with the good stuff first.
Okay, yeah, let's start with the positive.
One of the biggest impacts of AI in cybersecurity is its ability to detect threats in real time, which is just phenomenal.
It's incredible. Like, we're talking about spotting attacks.
Before they happen, almost.
Before they even fully materialize.
Yeah, in their early stages.
Yeah.
Before they can cause real damage.
So how is it able to do that?
Well, AI and machine learning algorithms can analyze just huge amounts of data. I mean, from network traffic to user activity, system logs, you name it all, looking for anomalies.
Right.
That could indicate a cyber attack. And,
Okay.
It's like having a security guard.
Yeah.
That never sleeps.
Right.
Can see everything at once and is super powered.
Right. And it's constantly learning and adapting as well.
Oh, absolutely. It's always learning, always evolving.
So our sources talk about this idea of AI predicting zero-day vulnerabilities.
Right.
And they describe it as AI being like a crystal ball.
Yeah.
That can predict the cyber attack.
It can, and that's a game changer because traditional security systems relied on known attack signatures to identify threats. So, if there was a new attack, one that nobody had ever seen before.
A zero-day vulnerability.
Exactly. They were kind of blind to it.
Right.
But AI changes all that.
So how does AI predict these zero-day vulnerabilities?
Well, it can analyze massive data sets of past attacks, looking for any patterns or anomalies that might suggest that, hey, there's a new vulnerability emerging.
So it can see those subtle clues that humans might miss.
Exactly, and it can flag them before they are exploited by hackers.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's really amazing. It's like predicting an earthquake.
Wow.
Before the ground starts shaking.
That's a really good analogy. Okay, so let's say a threat is detected.
Right.
What happens next?
Well, this is where AI-powered incident response comes in.
Okay.
So imagine this AI detects a phishing attack.
Right.
Targeting your employees. A traditional security system, might flag those emails.
Yeah.
Send an alert to the IT team. But with AI, it can actually take action.
Oh, wow.
To contain the threat.
What kind of action are we talking about?
Well, it could quarantine those affected accounts instantly.
Oh, wow.
Block the sender.
Wow.
Even delete those phishing emails from inboxes before they are even opened.
So it's like it's doing all this in real time, much faster than a human team could ever react.
Yeah, much, much faster.
So it's like it's containing the damage.
Exactly.
While the human experts come up with a longer-term solution.
Yeah, it's buying them valuable time.
Right.
And preventing that attack from spreading further.
So it's like the first responder.
It really is.
Okay, so our sources also dive into some other specific applications of AI in cybersecurity.
Right.
And cloud security seems like a really big one.
Oh, it's huge.
Especially because more and more businesses are, moving their operations online.
Right, to the cloud.
To the cloud.
And cloud environments, they're complex.
Yeah.
They're constantly changing, which makes them prime targets for attackers.
Right. But AI can help secure those environments.
How so?
By monitoring for suspicious activity,
Okay.
analyzing user behavior, and even predicting those potential threats.
Okay.
Based on historical data.
And it's not just about protecting against those external threats, right?
Definitely.
It's about those internal threats as well, those insider threats.
Yes, insider threats, those are tricky.
Yeah.
Because those perpetrators often have legitimate access to systems and data. But AI can analyze user behavior.
Okay.
Looking for anything that deviates from the norm.
Right.
That might suggest malicious intent.
Creep? For example?
So let's say an employee normally only accesses files related to their specific job, right?
Right.
Suddenly they start downloading large amounts of sensitive financial data.
Yeah, that would be a red flag.
That's a huge red flag.
Yeah.
They could be planning to steal data.
Right.
Or sabotage the company.
Yeah, okay.
AI can pick up on those subtle changes in behavior.
Oh, alert the security team.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, and,
But I do have to say, it's a little
big brother-ish.
Yeah, a little big brother-ish.
Yeah, I mean...
A little creepy.
It is a bit creepy, but, it's about finding that balance.
Right.
Between security and privacy.
Right.
Transparency is key.
Okay, yeah, transparency is key.
Organizations need to be open with their employees about how AI is being used.
Right.
To protect sensitive data.
Okay, so we've talked about how, AI is making a big impact in cybersecurity.
It is.
But our sources also warn about some potential downsides. It's not all sunshine and roses.
No, it's not.
So let's talk about some of those downsides.
Well, the biggest concern is that the same technology that can be used to enhance security can also be exploited by cybercriminals.
Oh, so the bad guys are using AI too.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
They're using it
to their advantage.
To their advantage.
Wow.
It's a double-edged sword.
So how are they using it?
In all sorts of ways. I mean, for example, they can use AI to launch much more sophisticated and effective DDoS attacks.
DDoS attacks.
Yeah.
Those are the ones that flood a website or server with traffic.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it makes it impossible for legitimate users to access it.
Right.
And AI can make these attacks even more powerful.
How?
By automating the process.
Okay.
By targeting specific vulnerabilities and even adapting to countermeasures in real time.
So it's like an AI-powered battering ram just constantly pounding at your defenses.
Yeah, it's a good analogy.
Until they crumble.
And it's not just DDoS attacks. I mean, they can use it to create more convincing phishing scams.
Right.
Develop new malware variants.
Oh, wow.
Crack passwords more efficiently.
So they're basically using AI to automate their attacks, make them faster, more sophisticated, and harder to defend against.
Exactly. That's the challenge that the cybersecurity industry is facing.
Yeah.
How to stay ahead of the bad guys.
Wow.
It's an arms race, a very sophisticated one.
It sounds like it.
And AI is at the heart of it.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
And it's a constant back and forth. As soon as security professionals develop new defenses, the cybercriminals, they find ways to bypass them using AI.
So it sounds like kind of a bleak picture.
Well, it's challenging.
Yeah.
But there's hope.
Okay.
The key is to use AI smarter and faster than the bad guys.
Right.
And, one really promising area is what's called AI-driven penetration testing.
AI-driven penetration testing.
Yeah.
Okay, what is that?
So it's essentially like having an AI-powered ethical hacker.
Okay.
That can probe your systems for weaknesses before the real attackers find them.
That sounds like a valuable tool.
It is very valuable. So think of it like a simulated attack.
Okay.
The AI system, it runs through various attack scenarios, trying to exploit vulnerabilities just like a real hacker would.
Okay.
But instead of causing harm, this AI is helping you find those weak spots. Oh, so you can fix them.
So you can fix them before they're exploited.
Right.
And it's incredibly thorough. I mean, it covers a much wider range of attack vectors than a human team could ever test manually.
Wow. Okay, so it's like a fire drill for your cybersecurity?
That's a good way to put it.
You're testing your defenses.
Yeah.
In a safe environment.
Exactly.
So you're ready for the real thing.
Exactly. You're prepared.
Okay, that makes sense. So are there any other defensive strategies out there where AI is proving to be effective?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, another one
that
I'm really excited about is what's called zero trust architecture.
Zero trust architecture.
Yeah, and it's a security model
Okay.
based on the idea that you should never trust any user or device by default.
Oh, wow.
Even if they're within your own network.
So even your own employees.
Even your own employees, you shouldn't just blindly trust.
Wow. So it's like a guilty until proven innocent approach.
It kind of is,
Yeah. Cybersecurity. Instead of assuming that anyone inside the network is trustworthy,
Right.
Zero Trust continuously verifies the identity and permissions of every user and every device trying to access resources.
And how does AI play into this?
Well, AI plays a crucial role because it can analyze user behavior, device characteristics, network traffic patterns, tons of data points to create a risk profile for every access request. And if anything seems even slightly suspicious, access is denied or additional authentication steps are required.
So it's like having an AI security guard standing at the door to the building, looking at every single person.
Scrutinizing every single person.
Scrutinizing every single person, and saying like,
who are you? What are you doing here?
What are you doing here? Do you have permission?
Do you have permission to be here? And the beauty of it is that it can dramatically reduce the risk of data breaches. Even if a hacker gets onto a single device or account.
Right.
Because every single access request is scrutinized. So it becomes much harder for an attacker to move around within the network.
To do any damage.
And cause that widespread damage.
Okay, that makes sense. So we've talked about, how AI is transforming threat detection, incident response. We've talked about its role in proactive defense with AI-driven penetration testing, zero trust architecture. But what about the other side of the coin? How are cyber criminals using AI to launch these more sophisticated attacks?
Well, one area where we're seeing AI being used quite a bit is in phishing.
Phishing?
Yep.
You mean those emails that try to trick you into clicking on a link or giving away your password?
Exactly, those classic phishing scams.
I get those all the time.
We all do.
It's like you've won a free cruise or something. Click here.
Oh, yeah, you've won $1 million. Click here to claim your prize.
Right, exactly.
Don't click.
Don't click, right.
But you know what? AI is making those scams much more sophisticated and harder to detect.
How so?
Well, it can craft highly personalized and convincing phishing emails that are tailored to specific individuals.
And how are they doing that?
AI can analyze publicly available information about a person. So social media profiles. Online purchases. Their professional networks.
Wow.
Gathers all those data points and creates emails that appear to come from legitimate sources.
So it's like it knows everything about me.
It knows a lot about it.
Before I even open the email.
Yes, it does.
That's scary.
And those AI-generated phishing emails, they're much more likely to trick people. Because they're so personalized. They look so real. So it's a big problem.
Besides making phishing scams more effective, how else are cyber criminals using AI offensively?
Another area is malware development. AI can be used to create new malware variants that are more evasive, more persistent, and more difficult to detect by traditional security systems.
It's like an arms race.
It is an arms race.
Between the good guys and bad guys.
Between the good guys and the bad guys, And the bad guys are using AI to create, stronger weapons. And the good guys are trying to build stronger defenses.
One of the sources I was looking at highlighted the need for businesses to invest in cybersecurity awareness training.
That's huge.
For their employees.
Huge.
Why is that so important?
Well, because...
Especially now.
Especially now with these AI-powered attacks. They are so sophisticated and convincing that it's easier than ever for employees to fall victim to them. I mean, a single click on a malicious link or a careless download can compromise an entire network.
Wow.
So it's not just about having the technology in place. It's about making sure your employees are aware of the risks. And know how to protect themselves.
So training is key.
Training is absolutely key.
And I've heard that phrase before. Humans are the weakest link.
Unfortunately, that's often true. Humans are naturally trusting. And can be easily tricked or manipulated, especially with these AI-powered attacks.
So how do we strengthen that weakest link?
Well, along with the training we've talked about, it's crucial to create a culture of security within your organization.
Okay, how do we do that?
Well, this means making cybersecurity a top priority,
Right.
encouraging employees to report any suspicious activity,
And celebrating security successes as well.
and celebrating those successes, absolutely.
It's about making cybersecurity everyone's responsibility, not just the IT departments.
Exactly. Everyone needs to be on board.
Our sources also highlight the importance of investing in AI-powered security solutions
Right.
that can, help to automate threat detection, incident response, and other critical security tasks.
It's essential.
But with so many different solutions out there,
I know.
how do you choose the right one for your business?
Well, that's the million-dollar question.
Yeah.
And there's no one-size-fits-all answer.
Okay.
The best security solution
Yeah.
for your business is going to depend on your specific needs,
Right.
your budget, and your risk tolerance.
So what are some factors businesses should consider?
Well, first, you need to define your security goals.
Okay.
What are the biggest threats you're facing?
Right.
What are your most valuable assets that need protection?
Mm-hmm.
Once you know what you're trying to protect,
Yeah.
you can start looking for solutions that address those specific needs.
Okay, so it's like buying a car.
It is like buying a car, yeah.
You need to know what features are important to you
Exactly.
before you go to the dealership.
Before you start shopping around.
What else should businesses consider?
Well, you also need to think about the level of expertise
Okay.
you have in-house.
Right.
Some AI-powered security solutions are very complex and require specialized knowledge
Yeah.
to configure and manage them effectively.
So if you don't have that expertise
Right.
in-house
Then you might want to consider a solution
Right.
that's more user-friendly
Okay.
or one that offers managed services.
So some of these tools are like fancy kitchen appliances.
That's a great analogy.
They might be amazing, but if you don't know how to use them,
Right.
you're not going to get very far.
They're going to sit there and collect dust.
Yeah, exactly.
It's also crucial
Yeah.
to evaluate the vendor's reputation, their
Right.
track record of innovation,
Okay.
and the level of support they provide.
Right. You're basically entering into a partnership
You are.
with this vendor.
A long-term partnership.
Yeah. You want to make sure they're reliable, they're trustworthy.
And that they're committed to your success.
Right. Committed to helping you achieve your security goals.
Exactly.
And of course, budget
Budget is always a consideration.
is always a consideration.
Always.
Like AI-powered security solutions can be expensive.
They can be.
So-
They can range in price from a few $100s a month to tens of thousands of dollars or more.
Wow.
So you need to figure out what you can afford
Right.
and what's going to give you the best value for your money.
And speaking of cost,
Yeah.
how can businesses kind of justify that expense?
Well,
What's the return on investment?
that's a great question. And that's a question that every business leader should be asking.
Right.
What's the ROI of this?
Yeah.
And the ROI of AI-powered security solutions
Mm-hmm.
can be measured in a couple of ways.
Okay.
One is to look at the cost of data breaches.
Right.
I mean, a single data breach
Yeah.
can cost a company millions of dollars
Wow.
in lost revenue legal fees, reputational damage.
Yeah, it's a nightmare.
It can be a nightmare for a company.
So by preventing even a single data breach,
Yeah,
an AI-powered security solution could pay for itself
it absolutely could.
many times over.
Many times over.
Wow.
And it's not just about preventing those big catastrophic breaches.
Right.
AI can also reduce the cost of those day-to-day security operations
I'll go.
by automating tasks
Like that.
like threat detection,
Okay.
incident response,
Right.
vulnerability scanning,
So you're freeing up your team
freeing up your team to focus on other things.
to focus on more strategic initiatives.
Exactly.
So it's not just about AI replacing jobs.
Right.
It's about augmenting human capabilities,
Exactly.
allowing them to work more efficiently and effectively.
It's about working smarter, not harder.
One of our sources also mentioned the importance of ethical considerations when you're implementing AI in cybersecurity.
That's a very important point.
Can you elaborate a little bit on that?
Yeah, I mean, AI systems, they're only as good as the data they're trained on.
Right.
So if that data is biased or incomplete,
Yeah.
it can lead to the AI making, unfair or discriminatory decisions.
Can you give me an example of that?
Sure. Let's say an AI system is trained on data that mainly reflects attacks on large corporations. That system might not be as effective at detecting attacks on small businesses or individuals
Oh, okay, I see.
because it hasn't seen enough data about those types of attacks.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like training a dog to only bark at strangers wearing black hats.
I love that analogy.
If someone's wearing a red hat, the dog might not recognize them as a threat.
Exactly. And that's the problem with bias in AI.
Yeah.
If the data is skewed, the AI's decisions will be skewed.
Right.
So it's crucial to use diverse and representative data sets
Right.
to avoid bias and ensure fairness.
Okay, so we need to be mindful of potential bias in AI systems.
Absolutely.
What other ethical considerations are there?
Well, we also need to think about privacy.
Privacy, okay.
AI-powered security solutions collect a lot of data
Right.
about user behavior,
Yeah.
device activity, network traffic, and that data can be very sensitive.
Right.
So we need to handle it responsibly.
So transparency is really important here.
Transparency is key.
Yeah.
Businesses need to be open with their employees and their customers about how AI is being used,
Right.
what data is being collected, and how it's being protected.
Another ethical concern that I've heard is the potential for AI to be used for malicious purposes,
Right.
even if it was originally intended for good.
It's a valid concern.
Yeah, how can we prevent that?
Well, any technology can be misused.
Right.
And AI is no exception.
Right.
That's why it's so important to have ethical guidelines
Right.
and regulations in place
Okay.
to govern the development and use of AI.
So it's not just about the technology itself.
Right.
It's about that ethical framework that surrounds it.
It's about the human element.
Right.
It's about making sure that we're using this powerful tool
Yeah.
for good
For good and not for harm.
and not letting it get out of control.
So where do we go from here?
That's the big question.
Yeah, what does the future hold?
Well, the future is both exciting and a little bit daunting.
I can imagine.
I mean, we're just at the beginning of this AI revolution,
Yeah.
and things are moving incredibly fast.
It feels like it, yeah.
So
What can businesses do to kind of prepare for this future?
that's a good question.
What are some actions they can take now?
Well, first of all, invest in that cybersecurity awareness training.
Okay, yeah, we talked about that.
Make sure your employees are aware of the risks
Right.
and know how to protect themselves.
What else?
Embrace a zero-trust security model.
Okay.
Assume that nobody is trustworthy,
Not even your employees?
not even your employees,
Wow.
until they prove otherwise.
Until they're verified.
Verified, yes.
Okay.
Partner with reputable cybersecurity vendors.
Mm-hmm.
Do your research.
And make sure you know.
Choose vendors that have a strong track record of innovation
Right.
and that are committed to ethical AI development practices.
Oh.
That's crucial.
What else?
Develop a cybersecurity strategy that incorporates AI.
So don't just kind of add it on as an afterthought.
Don't bolt it on as an afterthought.
Really think about it.
Think about how it can be integrated into your overall security strategy
Okay.
to create that proactive and resilient defense.
Those are all really good recommendations. It's clear that AI is really changing the cybersecurity landscape in some very big ways. It has the potential to make us all safer in the digital world, but it also comes with its own set of risks and challenges.
You hit the nail on the head. It's a powerful tool, but it's not a silver bullet.
So as we wrap up, what's kind of the one key takeaway?
Well, the one key takeaway is that we need to approach AI and cybersecurity thoughtfully, strategically,
Right.
and ethically.
Right, with a deep
With a
understanding
deep understanding
of its potential and its limitations.
Exactly. We can't just blindly trust it.
Right.
We need to use it wisely.
It's a call to action for all of us
It is.
to really think about, how AI is being used and to work together to make sure it's being used responsibly.
For the benefit of society.
Yeah, for the benefit of society. Well, thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive into the world of AI and cybersecurity.
It's been my pleasure.
And until next time, stay curious, stay informed.
And stay safe online.
Yeah, it really is mind-blowing how quickly AI is advancing, not just in cybersecurity, but like you said, across all industries.
Oh, absolutely. And, one of the most pressing challenges that comes with this rapid development that our sources talk about
Yeah.
is the growing cybersecurity skills gap.
Right. There aren't enough skilled professionals out there
No, there aren't.
to kind of keep up with the demand, especially as AI gets more complex and more integrated into all these security systems.
Exactly. It's not just about, building the AI.
Right.
It's also about having the expertise
Right. The human expertise
to design, implement, and manage.
manage these systems.
Right. And that's where the gap is.
So what kind of skills are we talking about?
Well, it's more than just technical expertise,
Okay.
It's also about critical thinking, problem solving, and the ability to adapt to rapidly changing technologies.
Of course, because AI is changing so quickly.
AI is a moving target.
And then, of course, there are the ethical considerations.
Right. Ethical considerations are becoming increasingly important in this field.
So we need people who are not only technically skilled, but also ethically aware.
Yes, ethically aware and responsible.
Responsible.
That's right.
Wow.
These are the people who are going to be the guardians of our digital world.
That's a big responsibility.
It is.
One of our sources mentioned the concept of AI explainability.
Yeah.
And how that's really important for building trust and accountability in AI.
Absolutely. And, explainability, it's about understanding.
Yeah.
How AI systems arrive at their decisions.
Okay, so for example...
So, for example, if an AI system flags a transaction as fraudulent,
right,
or denies someone access to a system, we need to know why.
Right, not just trust it blindly.
Not blindly. We have to be able to trace its reasoning.
Right.
And, verify that it's making fair and accurate decisions.
Right. It's like having a transparent AI.
I like that.
Where you can see how it's making its decisions.
Yeah, you can see the gears turning.
The logic behind it.
The logic behind it.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Another point that our sources brought up was this idea that AI could actually be used to democratize access to cybersecurity expertise.
Right, and this is a really interesting idea because traditionally, cybersecurity has been, a very specialized field.
Right.
Requiring lots of expertise, lots of resources.
Yeah.
And that's made it really difficult for small businesses and individuals to protect themselves adequately.
So how can AI change that?
Well, imagine AI-powered security tools that are so user-friendly that anyone can use them.
Regardless of their technical expertise.
Exactly. And, these tools could automate complex security tasks.
Okay.
Provide personalized recommendations, and even offer real-time guidance.
So it's like having a virtual cybersecurity advisor.
It is like having an advisor.
Right there to help you.
Right there by your side.
At your fingertips.
To guide you through.
Yeah. Okay, that's a really cool vision.
Yeah.
But I do have to say, I'm a little concerned about, these tools getting into the wrong hands.
Oh, of course.
People using them for malicious purposes?
Well, there are always risks with powerful technologies.
Right.
The key is to strike that balance.
Right.
Between accessibility and responsible use.
So education and awareness are going to be really important here.
Absolutely. We need to make sure that these tools are designed with security and ethics in mind.
Right.
And that users are educated about,
the risks.
The risks and the responsibilities.
Responsibilities. Yeah. Okay. That makes sense. Well, it's been really fascinating.
It has.
Talking about, the impact of AI on cybersecurity.
It's a rapidly changing landscape.
It is a rapidly changing landscape. And it seems like, it's a constant race to stay ahead of the bad guys.
It is.
How can businesses and individuals keep up with the latest threats and trends?
Well, one of the best things you can do is to follow reputable cybersecurity and news sources.
Okay.
And blogs.
Okay.
There are tons of great resources out there that provide really up-to-date information.
Okay.
Attend industry conferences and webinars.
Right.
Network with other professionals.
So it's about continuous learning.
Continuous learning is essential.
Yeah.
Because the threats are always evolving. The technologies we use to defend against them are changing. If you're not constantly learning, you're going to fall behind.
It's like any other profession.
It is.
You have to invest in your professional development.
Absolutely.
Okay, well, we've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive.
We have.
Exploring, the impact of AI.
A lot to think about.
A lot to think about. Yeah, the future of AI and cybersecurity.
It's exciting time.
It's very exciting and a little scary.
A little bit scary, but mostly exciting.
Yeah. Okay, so as we wrap up, what's the one key takeaway you want our listeners to remember from this episode?
The one key takeaway is that AI is a powerful tool that can make the digital world a safer place.
Right.
But it's not a silver bullet.
Right. It's not a magic solution.
No, it's not.
We need to approach it thoughtfully, ethically.
Thoughtfully, ethically.
And strategically.
And strategically with a deep understanding of its potential.
Right. Both its potential and its limitations.
That's right.
Okay, well, thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive.
My pleasure.
Into the world of AI and cybersecurity has been a really fascinating conversation.
It has.
And until next time,
stay curious.
Stay informed.
And stay safe online.
Thanks for checking out the Smarter Business with AI podcast. We hope you found today's episode insightful. Be sure to subscribe for more weekly discussions on how AI is shaping the future of SMEs. New episodes and use cases every Sunday. If you're ready to explore AI solutions for your business, visit us at neweraintelligence.com. See you next time.